Look at the difference in this eye and this eye. Hello, today I have you zoomed in so I can share my new mascara routine with you that's been working so well at holding my stick straight lashes curled without using a waterproof mascara. You can use any mascara you want, but today I'm using a longtime favorite that gives my wimpy lashes a lot of volume and length, and that is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. It's available at Ulta, and I'm excited that this video is in partnership with Lancome. And I'm excited to share some tips and tricks with you. And if you're prone to smudging, I have a couple of things on that as well. I've just changed my routine up a lot lately, and I figured I would share it with you. Now, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm in my mid-40s, and I noticed that the outer corners of my eyes are starting to curve downwards more than they used to. I don't have a natural lift to the outer corners of my eyes. And you know how you see some people when they start to use mascara, their lashes just naturally curl and start to lift with the mascara? Yeah, I'm not one of those people. I have to use a lash curler. And if I don't use an eyelash curler to curl my lashes, I just don't get any kind of a lift. The problem is that a lot of mascaras that are not waterproof, actually most of them, cause that curl to fall immediately after. Now, lash curlers are going to be dependent on your eye shape, so just find a lash curler that works really well for you. Now, the trick to being able to not use waterproof as my first coat to hold the curl, and some of you may be doing this already, is to take a blow dryer to your curler so it's just heated before you go in and curl your lashes. I'm inserting this because I forgot to note, if you have watery eyes, sometimes the outer lashes just will not hold a curl no matter what. And I find that using the heated curler will help those outer lashes curl. And with your warm eyelash curler, you want to hit the base of your lashes first. Again, you don't want your curler to be too hot, so don't take that dryer on it too long. You want to hit the base of your lashes a couple times and then walk the curler up the length of your lashes because you want to create a curl all along the length of your lashes. You don't just want that bend to be at the base of the lash. And that's something that I've always done. Even though my lashes are fine, you can see how much more they're lifted on this side than they are on this side. And I'm only going to do this side so that you can see the difference. And I do usually hit that base again just to make sure I have a good curl at the base. Now, some people like to use a lash primer, and that's an option. If you like to use a lash primer, go ahead. The Lancome Sills Booster XXL is a great one. I know a lot of you really like this. It's white. It can give extra length and volume and curl, but most days I'm lazy and I just use a few coats of mascara here. Now, I typically like it when my mascara has a little bit of age to it. It's, you know, a couple weeks old. I just like it when it's a little bit drier of a formula. This tube has been open for a couple of months now. I do have a new tube here that I probably need to start kind of airing out. Okay, so because I've been talking, I'm going to make sure my curl is still here, and it is. So the key here is to just put a very light coat of mascara at the base, kind of wiggle it back and forth, and take it up the length of the lash. And I would recommend doing the same thing if you're using the primer. Do not coat the back of your lashes at this step. And now that is something I would normally have done with waterproof mascara, but we're not doing this right now. So, I mean, I feel like I'm already, you know, seeing a nice difference here, and we only have one tiny little coat on. So this is something I would recommend to you if you're using the primer as well. Let this dry about 2/3 of the way, and then go ahead and start combing through it if you see clumps. I'm someone that has, you know, kind of clump prone lashes. So I always use either a brow spoolie or a lash comb. It has nothing to do with the mascaras I use. It's just how my lashes are. And you know, if you get any fallout from it, just dust it away. Now, after that's dried fully, you want to be able to take your finger along your lashes and not have any residue come off. You're going to take your lash curler non-heated and go back at the base and just pump it a couple of times. You can go back up the lashes if you want. I know some people are probably cringing at this point because typically when you go over lashes that already have mascara on them with a lash curler, there's the risk of pulling your lashes out. But that typically happens when you put lashes on the backs or the top of your lashes, and we didn't do that. So because we put a light coat on and because we only put mascara on the bottom of the lash, the curler doesn't stick to the lashes. So we're going to go back in with the mascara, and now we're going to do that same same thing, and I just kind of wiggle it and blink. Now we can put it on the back of the lash. And keep in mind, I did not tight line or do anything for this video because I really just wanted to keep the focus on the lashes. And I'm just gonna lightly do my lower lashes. I am not someone that personally likes a lot of mascara on my lower lashes, and I typically just kind of slide my finger along my lower lashes. So I usually let this dry about 2/3 of the way, and then I'll go in with a spoolie or a lash comb. I don't usually like my lashes to be fully dry because I feel like they're a little bit harder to comb out. And if you're wanting more separation or you see any clumps, just go ahead and get those out with your spoolie or your lash comb. But that curl is there and it stayed. And if you have any mascara dust from declumping, go ahead and dust that away. It dusts away with no problem whatsoever. So I would say this is a combination of using the right technique, using that heat the way some of you do. I mean, you tell me that in the comments, but also using the curler the right way and using the right mascara. It's kind of a combination of everything. This mascara has just always given me a lot of volume and a lot of length, but I now no longer have to use any kind of a light waterproof layer underneath. I can just use this mascara, and it also leaves my lashes really soft. But I mean, look at the difference in this eye and this eye. I don't have strong lashes, and so for me to get this kind of a result with just using a couple of coats and to not have to use a light layer of waterproof underneath, I mean, that's pretty good, and I'm just so happy about it. I know there are a lot of you who just don't want to wear a waterproof mascara every day, so I'm hoping that this helps you a little bit. I'm going to do this eye really quickly so I can have that shot up in the corner that you saw earlier, and then I am going to talk to you about the smudging, so give me 1 second. Now, if you are someone who is prone to mascara smudging along your brow bone or underneath your eyes, I have a couple of things for you that can help. Number one, if you are not using an eyeshadow primer of some sort on your eyelids, start doing that. It will help just a tiny amount. Even if you don't wear eyeshadow, that's going to help you tremendously. And also setting that eyeshadow primer from the crease to your brow bone, at least with a translucent powder. It can be loose or pressed. Just dust it from the crease to the brow bone. Using translucent powder and not eyeshadow for that will help so much. The same way it does, you know, when you set your face with translucent powder. Now, during that same face setting step, this is long before we put on mascara, I recommend taking that same translucent powder either on a narrow brush or, you know, fluffy brush and pinching it and running it right along your lower lash line. You can also take a tiny sponge or pinch your regular sponge and just kind of press it under there and then dust away the excess. That's going to help you from smudging. Another thing that can help is after you apply your mascara and after it's all dry is to take some kind of a translucent powder. It can be loose, it can be pressed. Take a narrow eyeshadow brush and just dip it in there lightly, tap off any excess, and run it along the tips of your lashes. You won't get any in your eye if you tapped off that excess. Doing that just helps seal the mascara onto your lashes. Also, if you tapped off your brush thoroughly, you won't be able to see it, and it helps prevent smudging. My lashes are far from perfect. They rarely curl evenly on both sides, but when I can find something that works really well for me at building volume and length and holding a curl, I always like to share it with you. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, and if you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.